Alright guys, I had a replay sitting in our guild chat, so I thought, hey, why not? This is a good opportunity to do a bit more practical and see how some of the things that we covered in the video are applied in game. So one good thing about raids is there's no time limit. So you can really take your time, think out your moves, assess everything you need to, and then make it happen. And this can be the same for many game modes and tactics too. Every opportunity that you play is also an opportunity to practice some of these basics, so you're more likely to default to them when the heat of battle gets turned up. Okay, so what I will say with this fight, first off, is this is a legendary 5 Magnus. My guys like D3, some blue star, some are I think 3. They don't normally survive this fight, so I might do a couple of things that I wouldn't normally do in an ideal setting, but that's just the practical of it. So before we jump in, I will just do a bit of an overview of the different components of this team, how they come together, and what we're actually going for, so we can bring a bit of purpose towards movement discipline. Okay, so we'll go left to right. First one will be Mr. Trage himself. So his abilities, I think, are actives like mid-30s, and then his passive is juiced at level 50, so that really plays a big role in this team. So his active is pretty straightforward, doesn't do a lot really, it's just an active we can use to buff his passive. The heal is nice, that can definitely come in handy at times, and sometimes the extra block chance too if you know you're about to get your ass beat. But for the most part, it's just an excuse to use this. So I see a lot of people still have issues working this one out. So I'll try to break it down into a more simpler picture. So I think the best way to think about it is think of it more as a enemy debuff instead of a friendly buff. So simply put, if any enemy is adjacent to any of your friendlies who has used an active, they get attacked for more damage when they get attacked. So we could have one friendly who's adjacent to multiple enemies, and they will all receive more damage when they're attacked, and that's irrespective of Trader's position on the map. But step 2 is if Trader is also adjacent to any of those enemies, extra hits are also applied to their non-normal attacks. And that can come in pretty damn handy when we get to this guy's passive. But in time. Okay, so our next goon is at Lukoya. I think her abilities are also 35 and then maybe 45. So her active doesn't do a lot, to be honest. Even if optimized, it still doesn't really do that much damage in boss fights. Pretty damn good in arena though. But yeah, just being honest, it's just another active we can use to buff Trader's passive on a certain round. Her passive though is definitely a start in this team, so there's kind of 3 different parts to this one. Number 1 is just her individual psychic resistance against psychic attacks. Definitely handy, especially when you pair that with the trait Terrifying. If she's being attacked in melee, it can really bring that damage down, so her survivability goes way up. Part 2 of her passive is also the friendly resistance to psychic attacks as well. I think it's like 33%. So yeah, it's like a psychic Terrifying, irrespective of the range. So that's pretty damn handy as well. And then also the third part is psychers receive extra damage when they're attacked. That 20% is pretty nice, and it definitely adds up. Okay, next cab off the rank. This is one of my little besties, Rosie. She's maxed out at 50/50, so I use her in TA, so she's good to go there. This fight is one of the rare instances where this is actually applicable, as we are versing a demon. As Magnus is an immune demon, unfortunately don't get the 60% extra damage. It would be nice, but it's just the 20. So this is pretty straightforward, right? It's a temporary buff that will last 2 rounds. The timing of this is something you have to keep in mind. Ideally, it is best to use this one on turn 5, but because we're probably going to die a bit before that, I'm just going to plan to use it on turn 2, so when we use Carrie's active for the first time, that will be in place. But ideally, I'd use it turn 5 to use it for his second turn. Get an extra buff. And her passive, it's just a flat damage increase against Psychos, which this big red Cyclops is. Sure, not bad. So Izzy, she's just a healer really. The active can be used to bring someone back if they die. Also group heal, not bad. And a passive, definitely a bit of an all-star when you're trying to keep people alive, because it can heal during your enemy's turns if they're attacking your friendlies and they don't die. So definitely a very, very handy passive. And then we got the Blade Master himself, Keep Calm and Carry On. Hopefully everyone knows how he works now, but if you don't, I'll go over him again quickly. So, his active is pretty straightforward in my opinion. Essentially, for every round you attack, you will increase the amount of damage that gets applied when you pull it. So on turn 6, if you have attacked every turn, I'm pretty sure it's like 166, 165. Pretty damn good. But his passive is definitely the star of the show. Like, we really only have like one big hitter in this team, maybe like 1.5 with Rosie, probably less than a half, but yeah, he's going to be doing the bulk of our damage in this team. Because we are versing a big target, the piercing damage is going to be the one that's showing up. So, pretty damn good. Obviously, piercing rate is high, but if we get our team functioning well, we should get an extra 2 hits of piercing damage applied each turn. So that's kind of the goal, right? So, got some buffers, we got some support, and we got a big hitter. So the same rules as basic movement discipline will apply, right? We move everyone in place, we set up our turn, and then we pull the trigger. I can't show you the details of the Exorcist, as I believe the Machine of Wars are somewhat bugged when it comes to replays. But her apparently tanks are her. Why not? The passive, not super useful in this game mode, to be honest, or in this fight anyway. You can splash some people and that can debuff some termies, which is nice, and yeah, you can build up some active faith for the sisters, but usually it's not that much. I'm going to use it anyway, but it's mainly the active that can be useful in this fight. It can buff Rosie a little bit further. It can also buff Isabella too, but I don't think I actually get any attacks in with her at all, so yeah, it would just be a waste of ammo. But yeah, I think it's 20% extra damage to attacks, but I think this is 1 under, so it's like 18 from memory. So yeah, I will use that with her, and it lasts 4 or so rounds, I believe. Okay, so that's the general team. The goal of this team is I want to use Trajan's buff to buff Carrie. And the more the others can buff, the more damage Carrie will do. And I also want to try to keep them alive where I can, okay? Alright, so yapping is done. Let's get into the practical. So, first things first, I want to take in my environment, make a bit of a plan, make some moves, set up my turn, and then pull the trigger. So, as you can see, Everyone has moved, everyone is set up, but no attacks have been made yet. When I'm ready, I'm gonna attack. Okay, so bit of a nothing turn really. I'm just trying to get forward, soften up some NPCs, and get in range of Magnus the following turn. Okay, so let's go through our steps. Let's take in the map, make a bit of a plan, figure out where I'm going to put each unit, set up my turn, and then bombs away. Bit of heals just because. Now I'm going to pull the Exorcist, so if they're not adjacent, the straight line blast damage won't pop up, but all her attacks are now, yeah, she's down the bottom. I will get an extra 18% damage to all attacks. That text is incorrect, I believe. Obviously the turns left being 8 is incorrect, but for Sisters of Battle there, that damage increase goes to all attacks. Whereas if this was a non-Sister of Battle and they had a normal ranged attack, then that damage would be applied to them if they attacked units on fire. Okay, so that's pulled, and then next one we're going to do is... Oh, sorry, I went too fast there. Oh, that was a big fail. But anyway, not a super influential turn. I'll just talk through it. Press the wrong button. My bad. It's past midnight. Shouldn't be doing this, but hey, we got to squeeze in when we can. But yeah, so what I did then was I used Rosie's active. I set that Filthy Heretic on fire. But at that stage, Traja's buff would not have been active. She was not adjacent. So if Carrie was to attack, he would have only got that single hit to his passive. So I did pull out the Koi's active, and then this activated the passive. Then when Carrie attacked, 3 hits instead of the 1. Okay, so actually did a little bit of damage there. Alright, moving on. Apologies for that mistake. Went a bit fast, but yeah, let's take in our environment, make a plan, make some moves, set up our turn, and then attack. So, this is our turn 3, where it says 4 rounds left. So, this is the first turn where we want to use Carrie's active, as it makes the most sense to use it on turn 3, as that will give it enough time to get some buff from the early 2 rounds, but then it will also be back online come round 6, where it's super buffed. So, that's what we're going to set up for the most part, and we're going to use that as a priority for the limited hexes that we can get, as we have kind of lit a decent portion of the map on fire, and mobility will be reduced. Okay, so we're doing what we can here. Brazier of Holy Fire should still be applied. Yep. She's in range to also apply her buffs. There we go. Extra damage. Trade is adjacent. Now, when we pull his active, Carrie's active will engage Trajan's passive, which will in turn buff his passive as well. So that's what we're trying to set up for this turn. Let's go. And as you can see, 3 hits, and now like just on the 20k, so yeah, not bad. Smack, smack, token hit, let's go. Okay, not so bad, still alive. Let's take in the map, make a bit of a plan, make some moves, set our turn up, and then let's attack. So there is one thing to note in this turn, and that is Alakoi's position. So again, we're always trying to make the most out of our team and capitalize on all the different opportunities that are available. So for her, we have that 2 range psychic defense to friendlies. And in this setup, even our peripheral units, being Rosie and Carrie, are both getting that psychic defense as well. So hey, we're just doing the best we can. This fight goes a lot further when I have her on the field, so that's why she's in the middle, and those others are still there. Okay, so I think we're gonna heal here. Yeah, that's right. So, as you can see, I healed both of them because I used her active. So, she gets up a bit, Carrie gets up a bit, but we also have got Trader's passive in action. So now we're cleared hot and we're going to attack. Good, 3 hits, thank you. Smack, 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 and let's move on. Ow. Ow. Okay, we're definitely hurting a bit here and getting pretty close to lights out, but getting a little bit further than normal, which is good. So, again, let's take in our environment, make a plan, make some moves, set up our turn, and then attack. This is raids, we have plenty of time. Let's make some good decisions. So, I think at this stage, I don't think I can save both of them. I either save Carrie or I save Izzy. This is a raid, and of the two, I need him alive a lot more than I need her alive. Sorry, mate. So I'm probably going to set this up so I can give him the best chance of living. Okay, so trade is active. That passive is now, spastic, is now activated. Let's attack. Good, so there we go, 3 hits. Pew pew. Ow. Ow. Okay, lost 2 of them. To be expected. But we're still in the fight, and luckily, Mr. Blade Master himself, we still have him in the fight, and his active is good to go. And it's firing on all cylinders. So as you can see, 165% extra damage, and that's going to apply to both of them. So yes, the active attack will be buffed, but most importantly, his passive is really going to stab some big holes in this big red guy. So Trader's active is gone. Rosie's active is also gone. Obviously, Abrasive Holy Fire will not be affected, and yeah, the Exorcist active is also not in place as well. So I'm going to bring that back on. It's not going to have much influence on Carrie whatsoever. So yeah, pretty much we can just get it to the spots and go full send. So let's see how much time we can do. Normally it's like around 100k or so. Yeah, not quite. But still, not bad. Okay, and just before I end the fight with Rosie, I'll just say, yeah, that I hope you found this video useful, and I hope we're starting to see some of the patterns and the trends of what we're going for, how to use it, and why we use it. Again, the biggest thing is just not initially reacting. Just take that quick breath, give yourself a second to actually take in what's on the map in front of you, make a plan, move your units, set your turn up, and then attack. Only then do we attack, because if your buffers aren't in range of your attackers when they attack, their attacks will not be buffed. I know, sounds pretty simple, but in game, when the pressure's turned up and there's a timer, it's very, very easy to miss things. So, the more we practice them, the more likely they will become our second nature. So, hope you liked the vid. I'll be doing some more of these, hopefully more so in a tournament arena setting. So, yeah, like and subscribe, or you are a heretic, and I will be back soon.